we're going to be looking at a groove that I have been absolutely addicted to lately, all right? And let's get this out of the way, all right? You're going to be like, blurred lines, that song sucks. It's like an infomercial. It's horrible. I agree with you. This song is just not my favorite to listen to. But as musicians, we can't close off any realm of music, pop included. And if you learn this groove, you will agree with me that this groove is addictive to play, and it makes the song bearable knowing that there's at least a good percussion part underneath that, right? Now, let's go ahead and get the question of the lesson out of the way, and that is, what is your guilty pleasure song? Like, what song? Is it Mambo Number 5? I don't know. I mean, I don't like that song, but maybe you do. Like, what's your guilty pleasure song that's like really popular, really poppy, and you still just dig playing it? Put that in the comment section below, and we'll kind of start a dialogue. You can find this lesson actually with the sheet music in the Gigging Drummers Workshop that's on my website. You get one new lesson a week with sheet music. It's usually focused on song covers as well as some professional tips and things. It's called the Gigging Drummers Workshop, and I think it's $10 a month or something. So let's look at what this groove consists of. So what I love about this groove is it is a drummer, of course, playing behind with just this simple beat. And behind that, he's got several percussionists. There's a lot of stuff going on in this song that we need to dissect. So first of all, let's look at what the drummer's actually doing. The drummer is playing a 4 on the floor groove, and that means kick drum 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 2-measure loop. So he's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, and with his kick drum. Now on the snare drum, he's playing 2 and 4 for that 2-bar loop, except for the first measure. On 4, he plays 4 and. All right, so the groove looks like this so far. Not altogether that interesting. But wait, there's more. On the hi-hat, he's got 8th notes going, and he's really digging in. You can watch Thicke perform this live. The drummer is really digging. He's got a phenomenal band, by the way. The drummer's really digging in to the hi-hat on the downbeat. So it's sounding more like this. Right, so he's really digging into those hats and driving the groove. The song's at about 120 BPM. Now, the other thing he does with the hi-hat is he opens it on the and of 4 in that first measure. So the groove now sounds like this. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 2, 3. Now, if you're in a band and you've got percussionists that can cover the part, maybe you got a singer that's somewhat competent with percussion. I'm always scared when singers show up with percussion tours. They're like, hey, and they show me their bag. They're like, I brought mine. It's just jingling with all this awful stuff that's going to be in my ears the whole time. And I'm like, oh, no, please have rhythm. So that's just one of my pet peeves. But singers with no rhythm, who'd have thought it? But if you don't have a percussionist, all right, we've got these different percussion parts that we have to do something with. We need to figure out how to play those, or it's not going to sound like this song, because the percussion is what drives this song. Now we have one percussion part that's on either a salsa bell. You can also play it on a wood block. And the rhythm itself is going to go 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1. All right. Then there's a second percussion part that you can hear. It's on a lower bell, like a mambo bell, and that is going to be the and the of every beat. So 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a... Then you have the drums going on top of that. So we have to figure out, if we're going to play this as a professional, we have to figure out how can we drive this song and incorporate as much of this as possible. All right. Well, the way that I found is I pick and choose parts so that it's kind of a Frankenstein groove of what they actually performed, so I can actually perform all of the stuff. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to simplify that first bell part by just a little bit. So we're going to play that bell part like this. 1 and 2E and a 3E and a 4 and the second measure will go 1 and 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1. So together. On the left hand, we're moving that to the hi-hat. Your left hand is now going to be playing the eighth notes driving on the hi-hat, so accenting the downbeats. And this hand is going to cover the rest of the groove. We're also going to play 2 and 4, as well as the and of 4 in that first measure with this. Now when we play the and of 4, we'll have to take away that bell pattern there. Okay? So the whole bell pattern with the snare hits is going to sound like this. Now you may be saying, Stephen, why did you take away on the and of 1? Why did you take away that Because it sounds kind of cool. Well, because it's really hard to, if you're playing the backbeat with your right hand, which you can play with your left hand and interrupt the hi-hat pattern. If you're playing it with your right hand, it's really hard to go at 120 BPM. So it's easier to go 1 and 2, and you don't miss that as part of the groove. You have to decide, it's kind of like in Latin music, you have to decide, okay, they're not going to miss the clave, it's kind of inferred, so I'm not going to play that with my left foot like Horatio El Negro, because I'm not him, right? So you can kind of infer some things, and the others go ahead and play them out. Now, all together, that's going to sound like this. We have the kick drum too, so don't forget to put that in there. Here we go. That's what I call a Frankenstein groove. When you get all that together, that's how it's going to sound. It's really danceable when you get it up to about 120 BPM. So what's the point of this lesson? The point is that sometimes you can take these real cool Latinish sounds and put them into pop music. And the other point is don't close any music off to yourself. Do I sit around and listen to blurred lines in my spare time? Absolutely not. It is kind of annoying after about, I don't know, halfway through it, just the first time you listen to it. But take what Pharrell did and what the rhythm section did for this and kind of see how, wow, okay, well that's kind of a cool use of all these different percussion instruments in a really popular pop song. All right, that's it. If you want the sheet music for it, check out the link below and you can sign up for the Gigging Drummers Workshop, which again, that's 1.5 hour lesson a week along with sheet music, as well as you get access to all the old lessons, which there's hundreds of them. And most of it's song covers and breakdowns. A lot of it is professional advice as well. So hopefully this has been helpful. We'll talk to you soon.